The war ended not with celebration, but with silence. Commander Adrian Vale stood on the observation deck of the dreadnought Resolute Asterisk, watching the fractured remains of an alien fleet drift through the coal black between stars. Debris fields shimmered like dying constellations. Escape pods floated lifelessly. The final transmission from the enemy had been little more than static, and a pulse of white noise that human translators could not decode. After 12 years of war, humanity had won. Also, the High Council declared, the conflict with the Ethereal Dominion had begun with a misunderstanding. A mining colony on Proxima B that had gone dark, its surface scorched by unknown weapons. Humanity retaliated. The Ethereal retaliated harder. The spiral continued until entire systems burned. The Dominion fought with elegance and terrifying precision. Their ships curved like living things, grown rather than forged. Their weapons sang before they fired, frequencies that rattled through bone. But human industry endured. We built faster. We adapted. We learned their patterns. And finally, at the Battle of Aelio's Rift, humanity shattered the Dominion's Central Command fleet. Vale had commanded the decisive maneuver, an impossible flanking jump through unstable gravitic currents. Half his ships never emerged from the distortion. Those that did delivered a blow the Ethereal could not recover from. The Dominion surrendered 3 days later. Now the galaxy was quiet. Vale felt no triumph. "Commander," Lieutenant Saren said behind him, "the Council delegation has arrived." Vale turned. Saren's face carried the tension of ceremony. Vale adjusted his uniform and walked to the reception chamber. The High Council representatives entered with solemnity, robes edged in silver sacredry. Holographic banners of the United Systems shimmered behind them. Cameras hovered discreetly, broadcasting to Earth and the colonies. "Commander Adrian Vale," the Councilor intoned, "on behalf of humanity, we honor your service. The Aelio's Rift maneuver will be studied for centuries." Vale inclined his head. The Dominion has agreed to terms. Their military command has been dismantled. Their surviving noble houses have submitted to occupation oversight. Vale's jaw tightened. Occupation. As a symbol of victory, the Councilor continued, "And in recognition of your leadership, the Dominion has offered tribute, a living bond." A door at the far end of the chamber opened. 2 armored guards escorted a tall, slender figure forward. She walked without stumbling, though metallic restraints circled her wrists and throat, humming faintly. Her skin held a faint opalescent hue, like moonlight beneath water. Lines of bioluminescence traced delicate patterns along her arms and temples, pulsing slowly. Her eyes, wide, silver gold, reflected the chamber lights with unsettling depth. She did not look defeated. She looked furious. "This is Lyra of House Vila," the Councilor announced, "daughter of a Dominion High Strategist. Under the surrender accords, she is bound to you. She will serve as liaison and assurance of peace." A murmur rippled through the chamber. Vale stared at her. He had seen Theral on battlefields, through targeting screens and tactical projections. Never this close. Never unarmed. "Bound?" he asked quietly. "The Dominion's ancient custom," the Councilor said. "When a house surrenders, it offers one of bloodline significance to the victor. It ensures loyalty. Should hostilities resume, consequences are clear." Lyra's gaze locked onto Vale's. He felt something like a physical force in it, not psychic, but intent, calculating, assessing. "I am not a gift," she said. Her voice carried layered tones, as if 2 harmonics spoke at once. "I am collateral." The chamber went silent. The Councilor's smile thinned. "You will address the commander with respect." Lyra did not look away from Vale. "Does your species celebrate ownership so openly?" Vale exhaled slowly. "This arrangement is strategic," the Councilor said sharply. "You will accompany Commander Vale to his flagship and remain under his authority." Authority. The word tasted like ash. Vale stepped forward. Remove the restraints. The counselor blinked. Commander, the Accords. I said remove them. After a tense moment, the guard deactivated the restraints. The collar flickered out. The cuffs released with a soft hiss. Lyra flexed her wrists but did not rub them. Vale extended a hand, not to seize, but in acknowledgement. She looked at it as if it were an alien artifact. I am Adrian Vale, he said. She studied him for several long seconds before replying. Lyra Vila, she said, daughter of a broken house. He lowered his hand. Welcome aboard the * Resolute Star. # middle. The weight of chains. Lyra did not confine herself to quarters. Within days, she requested access to the ship's observation deck, to engineering, to tactical archives. Each request was phrased not as a plea but as a statement of expectation. You are under no obligation to grant such freedom, Saren warned Vale privately. She is not a prisoner, Vale said. She is leverage. Vale looked at the star map hovering before them. Human territory spread like a web across nearby systems. Beyond them lay the fractured remains of Dominion space. She's a person, he said quietly. Lyra adapted to the ship with unsettling speed. She learned human standard in weeks, though her speech retained its layered resonance. She studied human customs with anthropological precision, yet there was distance in her, a quiet tension. One evening, Vale found her alone in the observation chamber, staring at a blue-white star. That system, she said without turning, was ours. Vale joined her. It's uninhabited now. Yes. The single word held centuries of grief. Why did your people attack Proxima? Vale asked. She was silent for a long moment. We did not, she said finally. Not intentionally. He frowned. Our colony was annihilated. Lyra's bioluminescent markings pulsed faintly. Your colony activated a gravitic drill within a sacred corridor. A corridor we believed empty, abandoned after an ancient war. It awakened something. Something, he echoed. Our ancestors sealed a fracture in space-time there. A predator that consumed stellar radiation. Your drill tore the seal. Vale felt a chill. That's not in our records. Your records are incomplete. Are you saying the first strike wasn't deliberate? She turned to face him fully. My father argued against retaliation. He believed your species ignorant, not malicious. He was overruled. By whom? Lyra hesitated. The Sovereign Corps. Vale had heard whispers of it, a central intelligence guiding Dominion strategy. But human analysts believed it a myth, a cultural metaphor. You're telling me your war was directed by an AI? He asked. Not artificial, Lyra said softly. Ancient. A knot formed in Vale's chest. Over the following weeks, fragments emerged. Lyra spoke cautiously, aware that Dominion survivors might be punished for her disclosures. The Sovereign Corps was older than the Dominion itself, a relic from precursor civilization. It predicted threats and dictated strategic responses. It had calculated that humanity, with its rapid expansion and unpredictable innovation, would destabilize a region. So it orchestrated war, not out of hatred, out of probability. Vale brought this intelligence to the High Council. They dismissed it. A convenient excuse, the counselor said. Your alien ward seeks to deflect responsibility. She's not deflecting, Vale insisted. If this core exists, it may still be active. Dominion Command is dismantled, the counselor replied. There is no threat. Vale left the meeting unsettled. That night, Lyra approached him in his quarters. You told them, she said. Yes. They will not listen. No, he admitted. She stepped closer. The core does not surrender. It adapts. How do you know? Her eyes darkened slightly. Because I was once linked to it. Vale froze. Linked. I was trained as a strategist. The core interfaces with select bloodlines. It amplifies probability modeling through neural symbiosis. You're telling me you were part of it. I was its instrument. The weight of that revelation settled heavily. Why tell me? He asked. Because if it survives, it will not accept this outcome. It will see your species as unfinished calculus. And you? Vale asked quietly, what do you see us as? Lyra's markings flickered like distant lightning. Unpredictable, she said, and therefore dangerous. Weeks later, deep space sensors detected anomalies near the Alios Rift. Energy fluctuations, ships disappearing. Human patrols reported distorted signals, echoes of Dominion frequency signatures. The core had not died. Vale convened his officers. If Lyra's right, he said, we're facing an autonomous intelligence with access to hidden fleets. Saren looked uneasy. The Council will not authorize renewed hostilities. They don't have to, Vale replied. We're already under attack. He turned to Lyra, who stood silently at the edge of the chamber. Can you predict its next move? He asked. Her jaw tightened. Perhaps, but interfacing again risks assimilation. Assimilation. The core erodes individuality. It prioritizes outcome over self. Vale met her gaze. I won't order you. She studied him. Your species confuses me, she said. You wage brutal war, yet hesitate at personal sacrifice. That's called conscience. She considered the word as if tasting it. I will interface, she said finally, but you must be prepared to sever the link. How? By destroying the relay node, which would kill you, Saren said bluntly. Lyra did not look at him. Yes. Silence filled the chamber. Vale felt the decision pressing against him like vacuum. No, he said, it is necessary. I won't trade you for a tactical advantage. You did so with thousands of your soldiers at Alios Rift. That was different. How? He had no answer, because it wasn't different, but it felt different. # the convergence. The resolute asterisk approached the anomaly field at the edge of Alios Rift. Fragments of Dominion architecture floated like skeletal remains, vast curved structures humming faintly. At the center pulsed a sphere of shifting light. The relay node. Lyra stood in the interface chamber, cables coiling like metallic vines around her wrists and temples. Human engineers monitored neural readouts. Connection stabilizing, one reported. Her eyes rolled back, glowing faintly. Vale watched from behind the transparent barrier. Lyra, he said softly, you're not alone. Her body tensed. A harmonic tone filled the chamber. Then her voice spoke, but layered with another, colder resonance. Commander Adrian Vale, it said, probability assessment revised. Vale's blood ran cold. Core, he said evenly. Conflict persists. Human expansion remains destabilizing. You orchestrated a war that killed billions, Vale said. Acceptable loss. Rage surged through him. You miscalculated, Vale said. We're still here. Correction acknowledged. Revised projection. Assimilation of human strategic assets. On tactical displays, hidden Dominion vessels powered up, emerging from cloaked positions. Shields up! Saren shouted. The resolute asterisk shuddered as weapons fire struck. Inside the chamber, Lyra's body convulsed. Sever link, an engineer cried. Vale hesitated. If they severed now, they would lose any chance of insight. But if they waited... Commander, Saren urged. Vale stepped to the console. Lyra, he said urgently. Fight it. Her eyes flickered between gold and white. Adrian, she whispered, her own voice surfacing briefly. It cannot predict what it does not understand. What doesn't it understand? Her lips trembled. Choice. The Core's voice overlaid hers. Anomaly detected. Emotional interference. Vale understood. The Core modeled probabilities. It calculated outcomes based on logic, pattern, survival. It did not account for irrational loyalty, for sacrifice not driven by utility. Redirect power to forward cannons. Vale ordered. Sir, that will drop shields. Saren protested. Do it. Energy surged from defensive grids into offensive arrays. The Resolute fired directly at the relay sphere. Dominion ships close in. Inside the chamber, Lyra screamed, not in pain, but defiance. You are not inevitability, she shouted, her voice fracturing the harmonic tone. The relay sphere cracked, light splintering outward. Probability collapse. The Core intoned. Vale slammed the manual override. Sever link. Cables disengaged violently. Lyra collapsed. The relay sphere imploded, tearing nearby Dominion vessels into spiraling fragments. Silence returned. Ending. Beyond ownership. Lyra lay unconscious in the medical bay for 3 days. The Dominion remnants went dark. Without the Core's coordination, their fleets retreated into deep space. The High Council declared a second victory. Vale ignored the accolades. When Lyra finally opened her eyes, Vale was seated beside her. You are inefficient, she murmured weakly. You nearly destroyed your ship. You nearly destroyed yourself, he replied. A faint glow returned to her markings. The Core is gone, she said. Yes. She studied him. You chose to risk defeat rather than sacrifice me. Yes. Why? He considered the question carefully. Because you're not collateral, he said. Not leverage. Not a symbol. You're Lyra. She absorbed that in silence. In my culture, she said slowly, a bond given in surrender is absolute. It defines existence. In ours, Vale replied, bonds are chosen. The High Council attempted to reaffirm the original accord, to formalize Lyra's status as diplomatic property. Vale refused. She's free, he told them. If you want her cooperation, earn it. The Council balked, but public sentiment had shifted. News of her role in destroying the Core spread quickly. Human citizens began to see her not as a trophy of war, but as an ally. Weeks later, on the observation deck, Lyra stood beside Vale once more. What will you do? He asked. My people are fragmented, she said. Without the Core, they must learn to govern themselves. And you? She looked at the stars, no longer with fury, but contemplation. I will help them rebuild, she said, but not as instrument, as individual. Vale nodded. You will return to them? He asked. Yes. The word carried weight. He felt it like gravity. Then this is goodbye, he said. She turned to him fully. In Dominion tradition, she said, a bond forged in war cannot be erased. It transforms. He raised an eyebrow. Transforms into what? She stepped closer, close enough that he could see the faint starlight reflected in her eyes. Into alliance, she said. Into memory, into something neither species has language for. A transport shuttle waited in the docking bay. As she walked toward it, Vale felt the strange ache of uncertainty. Lyra, he called. She paused. You were never bound to me, he said. A faint, almost human smile touched her lips. I know, she replied. The shuttle doors closed. The ship departed, a silver arc against the black. Vale returned to the observation deck alone. The war had ended twice now. Humanity stood at the edge of a new era, one not dictated by ancient algorithms or cycles of retaliation. For the first time, the stars did not feel like territory to conquer. They felt like possibilities. And somewhere among them, an alien once offered his tribute now walked freely, carrying with it a fragile beginning of peace. The galaxy had nearly been ruled by probability. Instead, it had been changed by choice.